In 1998, Cairo witnessed one of the most brutal stories ever. A story so disturbing, so cruel, that even today it's difficult to fully speak of it. Not because time has faded the memory, but because its details are too ugly, too heavy for the human mind to carry. What happened left deep scars not only on those involved, but on everyone who dared to uncover the truth. It's a story that exposes the darkest corners of human nature, where compassion disappears and brutality takes its place. Even now, retelling it feels unbearable, because some acts are so twisted, their very description can shake the soul and leave lasting wounds on the human mind. It's about two ordinary people from Egypt, Tariq and Amal, a husband and wife with two little children. On the surface, just another young family trying to get by. But behind that picture was a life filled with fear, control, and desperation. And when they reached their breaking point, survival led them down a path they could never return from. This is their story, and it will make you wonder, how far could a person go when pushed to the edge? Tariq was 38 years old. He had spent years trying to build a stable life. He looked for jobs everywhere, construction, day labor, small tasks here and there. He worked hard when work was available, but nothing lasted. Every attempt ended in failure. Amal was 29. She stayed at home, caring for their children. She dreamed of safety, of a simple home where the kids could laugh without fear. But poverty was constant, and each day seemed heavier than the one before. Bills piled up, food ran out. The sound of their children crying from hunger cut deeper than any wound. They were desperate, and desperation makes people take chances they normally wouldn't. That's when Tariq's mother suggested something, a family connection, a distant cousin named Hamdi. Hamdi was well known in their city. He was a lawyer, respected, with money and connections. Maybe he could help. Maybe this was the chance they needed. When Tariq met Hamdi, he was welcomed warmly. Hamdi said the words Tariq had been praying to hear. "Don't worry. I'll help you. You'll have a place to stay. You'll have work. Bring Amal, bring the kids. You'll be safe." It sounded like a blessing. And so Tariq and Amal packed their few belongings, took their children, and moved into Hamdi's apartment. At first it felt like relief. The apartment was large, clean, and far better than the place they left behind. For a moment, they believed life might finally change. But hope doesn't always last. Soon, little details felt wrong. The phone rang constantly. Strange men called asking about women. Amal answered by mistake once, and the man on the other end spoke to her in the crudest, most disgusting way. Slowly, the truth came out. Hamdi was not just a lawyer. That was only one side of him. The other side was much darker. Behind closed doors, Hamdi lived a double life. Drugs, shady deals, and things far worse. And now Tariq and Amal were trapped in the middle of it. The man who offered them shelter, Hamdi, did not help them. He trapped them. He took away their freedom. First, he created dependency. He gave Tariq drugs, ordering him to smoke them in his hookah. He told Amal to mix powder into her husband's tea. They were afraid, so they obeyed. Then he took their official identification cards. Without these IDs, they were nobody. They could not leave. They could not get help. They were invisible. Hamdi's apartment became a center for his criminal activities. His friends came for nights of drugs and alcohol. At first, Tarek and Amal were forced to watch. Then they were forced to participate. The abuse escalated. Hamdi sexually coerced Tarek, forcing him into an affair. He first made Amal watch the encounters. Then he ordered her to participate. Their fear was absolute. He held their IDs and threatened their safety and the safety of their children. They felt they had no choice. Hamdi then forced them into his other crimes. Tarek was made to assist with drug deals. Amal was ordered to help with thefts. They were pulled deeper into his world every day. This was not a life, it was survival. Each day they lost more of themselves. Their only goal was to protect their children, and for that they did whatever Hamdi commanded. Then Hamdi crossed the final line. He demanded custody of their youngest child. For Tarek and Amal, this was no longer about humiliation or survival. This was about family. Amal clutched the baby in her arms, crying, while Tarek refused outright. That night, something changed inside them. They realized that if they didn't act, Hamdi would take everything. Fear turned into determination. They decided they couldn't let him win. One evening, Hamdi was lost in intoxication. His body was weak, his guard was down. Tarek and Amal saw their chance. With hearts pounding and hands shaking, they restrained him. At first, it was about stopping him. But then, fear, anger, and desperation took over. They struck, again and again, until Hamdi was dead. For the first time in months, the apartment was quiet. The predator was gone. But quiet doesn't mean peace. The killing was violent. Tarek and Amal did it to survive. But after it was over, they had to face what they had done. They cleaned the apartment. They tried to wash away all the signs of the crime. They worked quickly, scared of being caught. But they couldn't clean everything. Blood leaves a stain. It soaks into floors and leaves traces behind. They knew the police could find this evidence. They also knew they could never forget what happened in that room. The memory of the killing was a stain on their minds, and it would not go away. Hamdi's disappearance was noticed quickly. People asked questions. Police began to dig. What they found shocked the community. The respected lawyer wasn't the man people thought he was. His life of drugs, abuse, and corruption was exposed. But even as those secrets came to light, so did the truth about Tarek and Amal. They had killed him. The courtroom heard everything. The abuse, the drugs, the coercion, the fear. Some saw Tarek and Amal as victims who had been pushed too far. Others saw them only as killers. In the end, the law was unforgiving. Both were sentenced to death. Two parents who once only wanted to protect their children were now condemned to lose their own lives. And the children, innocent and small, were left behind, carrying scars they never deserved. And that's where it ended. Hamdi, the respected lawyer with a hidden life, silenced forever. Tarek and Amal, two broken parents, punished by the harshest sentence. And two children left to grow up with the shadows of everything their parents endured. Do you think Tarek and Amal were murderers who deserved what they got? And if stories like this make you think about human nature, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you won't miss the next one.